many cases, the secrets of the universe itself. And sometimes social media and the secrets of the universe are one and the same. Sometimes they're a little bit different. We got to tie them in. For those of you who have been listening to the show so far, we've been talking about ways to use the social media to actually become the person that you want to be, so that you can be reflected as the person that you want to be reflected in relation to your business. If you have a wild business, it's okay to be a wild person. You know, go out there and be that wild person. But if you don't have a wild business, probably you want to have a little bit more settled character that's reflected in the social media. Also, it actually just helps you become a better person in general. And there's nothing wrong with becoming a better person, a better citizen, a better community member, a better husband, a better wife, whatever the case might be. So that's what we've been talking about up to this point. Actually, my amazing internationally recognized artist and videographer for our show gave me a quote over the break. Okay, DJ, what was that again?
Strong enough to be gentle.
He said the summary of last segment was you want to be, how to be a manly man is how to be strong enough. You want to be, as a man, you want to be strong enough to be gentle. And that is essentially what a manly man really is all about, and a true gentleman. That I guess that is the summary of the two. So that's what you want to reflect out there, unless of course your business would get destroyed. You know, if Megadeth went out there as a gentleman, yeah, I think he'd probably lose fans. They actually, all they did is one of their albums was a little more calm, and they had nearly lost half their fan base. The fan base wanted to be all about death and wild thrash metal and whatnot, and they tried to be a little bit, I think it's because Metallica was starting to become a little bit more ballad oriented, and when Megadeth tried it, they nearly lost their fan base. So, you know, everything, when you can pay attention to who your audience is in both sides. If your audience wants to see a settled, good character, a person with good character leading a company, then make sure you project that image. Again, if you're Megadeth or you're the head of Axis Radius, the creator of Axis Radius, the wild party place, yeah, it's okay. You know, do it as you feel fit. But again, remember, people are voyeur. They want to see who owns a business, and don't think that you're not going to gain or lose business based on what they see when they hit your Facebook. Okay, so now moving on to the social media and search engine optimization, how to tie those together. So Hummingbird has been one of the new releases that has come out in the Google algorithm, and it's caused a lot of consternation with both from the standpoint of social media as well as the search engine optimization, search engine marketing companies. SEM, if you see that SEM, that means search engine marketing, which is very often a combination of SEO and social media. But the theme that has been running for almost a year now with Google is that you need to have good content that's related, good fresh content, and now it's going a little bit more multimedia. So you want to have good content and written content on your website. You want to have good video content on your website that's relevant. You also want to have good good audio content inside of your website. So good multimedia interaction. Backlinks still are helpful, but not as important as they used to be. It's more about the fresh content and that it actually is readable to your audience. If your audience is PhD level, then it's okay to write PhD level. But if you're writing PhD level and your audience tends to be 8th graders, hey, you know what? Google's not going to put you up high on the rankings for that. So you want to be able to write to your audience, and Google will be the judge of that. So these are all things that are very helpful. But Hummingbird, it talks about content. And guess what the social media is? It's content. You know, you have your blogs, you have your Facebook, which tends to be a combination of written as well as pictures and some video, but not so much. You know, obviously YouTube, emphasis on video content, Instagram and Pinterest, very, very strong on the picture content. You may have videos in there here and there, but again, their emphasis areas on the pictures, and then your audio content. To be honest, nobody. Well, I'm not going to say nobody. Your iTunes is nobody is giving iTunes any competition, I guess is the best way to say it. So when you go into the archive of this show, go to voiceamerica.com, type in Social Universe, and you'll be able to find our archive shows, and those are going to be found on iTunes. So they pretty well are, since they have like I think it's 1 billion downloads a month, something to that effect. Nobody competes with iTunes, but they just quietly run in the background. And I don't tend to be please don't stop listening to this show, but I don't tend to be a huge fan of of Apple and Macintosh. So that's my age there, using that term there. But I tend to not be a huge fan of their products just because they're not open. And then the final thing is, don't forget to incorporate your mobile users. I mean, there's early this morning, I had some things that I needed to get, and rather than running errands, I just jumped on my app on Amazon and bought them. And I was on my way. I mean, it took me just a few minutes. And I guess I'm going to mention that in there. It's not really considered social media, but it is definitely online. Amazon is just kicking butt and taking names. I don't know how else to say it. Even if they aren't exactly posting massive profits right now, they're in a growth mode that is just unparalleled. I mean, they just have a corner better than Google, in my opinion, on e-commerce. You get in there on that app, and what I absolutely love about Amazon, if you haven't been an Amazon shopper yet, you can create a Prime account, which that means that there's going to be a certain percentage of the accounts that you can order and have no shipping costs, which is kind of good. I mean, but you also want to still be careful using a Prime account. Sometimes they just up the price, and then they don't charge any shipping, and they call it the Prime account. So always look at the price per ounce. I mean, be a good shopper. Don't just say, oh, free shipping, that must be what I want to get. But still make sure that you get a good price on it. But it's really, really nice. They have good return policies. They are definitely becoming the online Walmart because you can price shop. And what I love, if I go to any retail store, if I go to Walmart itself or go to Costco, I look on the shelf and I kind of have to know what brands are good. If I'm shopping on an Amazon, if I'm in a new area that I don't know the best brands that I like, or if it matters if a good brand is there or not, some things that are just created, saline solution. Why do we have to do Bausch and Lomb? For crying out loud, you can just get the Costco brand and you're good to go. So I'm not an eye doctor recommending that, but as a user myself, I think it's great, and it can be a 30% less cost. Why should I pay for Bausch and Lomb prices? And so I kind of know that industry. I've we're in contacts for over 20 years, and so I know that. But if I'm going out into a new product arena, then it's wonderful to be able to see all the ratings. Almost everything on Amazon has the Yelp style reviews, and that culture of reviewer has just been amazing. It's not people just screaming and yelling saying I hate this product like it is on Yelp a lot of times. It actually is something that's extremely important that I addressed today, which is that you can learn so much. And also one of the things that Amazon does is, a lot of others do it as well, but they have the users, after they read a review, you mark whether you thought it was helpful. So they'll actually give the best rating, and they will give the worst rating and how helpful they were. So the most helpful bad rating, the most helpful good rating, they throw those both up there, you read both of those, and it gives you good insight to what you're purchasing. I absolutely love Amazon, and if any of you think, oh, hey, why are you barely talking about this on the show? We've known about this for years. Okay, fine, if I'm behind the 8 ball, bringing it on the show. But I think more and more shoppers are using Amazon, and you may want to consider tying Amazon into your website using their e-commerce, and so I'll just kind of leave it at that. Also, if you want to call 480-296-1776, I have a very good referral partner and friend that I would recommend to you if you want to know all the tricks of the trade on how to sell on Amazon, how to buy and sell on Amazon, how to get great deals and resell. Because if you think about what e-commerce is all about, it's buying low and selling high. So if you can figure out how to buy things low and sell them for 2 or 3 times what you bought them for, or even just 50% more than what you bought them for, those are good margins, and my friend can actually help give you some training. It'd definitely be worth it if you're trying to put yourself through college. Might be a great way to do it, so all things to consider. And so as I wrap up, it looks like we have about 1 minute before we end the show. the important thing to understand about social media and Google is that Google realized that it's a good way to start tracking good content inside of your website. So always tie the good content that you create for the social media into your website. You'll get some good SEO lift, and you'll also always have good, fresh content. So once again, I want to say thanks to all of our loyal listeners for tuning into the show. This is Kurt Wilhelm, the host of the Social Universe here on Will Talk Radio on Voice America, and we look forward to speaking to all of you next week.